This is how I make my decorated Fiesta bottles. These ones are Lakers inspired for 30th birthday. I use super fine glitter, Mod Podge, E6000 rhinestone glue and rhinestones, a dotting tool to smooth the glue, and a little applicator. I start by cleaning the entire bottle with rubbing alcohol. I start the first coat on the back with an even layer of Mod Podge, and I spread it all over with my paintbrush and then glitter, and I do the same on both sides of the bottle, just spreading it evenly. I don't go all the way up to the neck yet because I need something to hold on to. I dust off the front before I put the Mod Podge on so it doesn't get clumpy. And instead of taping off the label, I find it's been easier for me to just go in freehand very carefully around the edges of the label. It's just faster than using painter's tape and taping over the label and cutting it and everything like that. So I do an even layer and I go very carefully around the edge of the label, which doesn't need to be perfect because I'm going to be adding rhinestones there anyways. And since I'm doing such a thin layer of Mod Podge around the label, it dries pretty quickly, so I just do about half, let that dry, dust it off completely, and then I go in and do the other half, which again, I'm just making sure that it's pretty even, pretty thin around the edges of the label, but if I get some Mod Podge on the actual label, it's pretty easy to just wipe it off before adding the glitter, and making sure that everything is completely dry before dusting it off, before starting the second coat. And the second coat is exactly like the first coat. I'm starting at the back, doing an even layer of Mod Podge all around. Then I will do glitter and I will do both sides and the front just as before. And I make sure to let everything dry completely before dusting it all off one final time. I don't want any clumps of glitter. If I don't dust it off, it will be clumpy and it will not look good. Now I go over everything with the top coat, which is a mixture of Mod Podge, water, and glitter. I want it to be a lot thinner than just using regular Mod Podge for the top. I want it to dry a little shinier than it would if it wasn't. And if there's any little air bubbles, I just smooth those out with my brush. And I did misspell Mod Podge, but that's okay. Then I do the front last, and I will do the neck the same exact as I did the first two layers, and then the top coat, I just needed something to hold on to for right now before I finish the base. And this is how it looks, completely dry. Oh my gosh, look at her, she looks so pretty. And now it's time to bedazzle, and I get my rhinestones and I put the glue on the dotting tool and smooth it out, and I go little by little. And I use this little applicator pencil thing. It looks like a colored pencil, but it's a little more waxy. It's more like a crayon, and I have used a crayon in the past and it works pretty much just the same. It just picks up the rhinestones and places them where you need them to be. And this glue gets tacky pretty quickly, so I put it on my dotting tool and I smooth it along the edge where I need it, and I go in little tiny sections around the label and place each rhinestone where it needs to be. It's very tedious, but it's super easy. It just takes some time and patience. And why does my hand look like that? Don't look at my hand. It's fine. And I just continue to go around the whole thing and smooth every little rhinestone out to make sure that it's all aligned perfectly with the label, because I don't want it to look crooked. I'm a perfectionist and I want it to look exactly perfect how I need it. So it's pretty easy to just move the rhinestones. Even though they set pretty quickly, it's easy enough to just move one or two of them, and then if you need to, you can set it with Mod Podge after it dries. And this is the last little section that I'm doing, and after it's done, I notice if it's a little off, I just make sure to smooth them all out and make sure they're all even and in line. And now it's time for the cork, the top, whatever. It's just the same process as before. The first and second coat, I do an even layer of Mod Podge, then glitter, then let that dry, dust it off, do another even layer of Mod Podge, then glitter, and the top coat again is going to be Mod Podge, water, and glitter. Very thin layer over top. I misspelled it again, but that's fine. And after I'm done with that, then I let it dry and it's all done. And the bottle is complete and it looks so good, and I love how they turned out. And all these bottles I did for a 30th birthday party, and I try to make the Hennessy ones look like a jersey for the Lakers theme. And all of the extra little designs and decals, I just used the same E6000 glue and glued it on the same, and it worked perfect and they look amazing.